How's it going, people? Hope you're doing well. And lately I've been preaching this togetherness, and as you can see by the title, that's sort of a direct contradiction to the togetherness, as you've seen in my latest video, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's not a shameless plug. I actually really like it. Every now and then something or someone happens, and you've just got to push back, no matter what. And so, yes, today we're going to be pushing back against Anthony Fantano, the internet's busiest music nerd. And now, before I really dive into this, Anthony is a smart guy, very smart guy, and he's politically and socially aware. And for all those reasons, I think he's fine. I'm not trying to cancel him or anything like that. But, because of these most recent takes, he could get canceled. Why not? Maybe I could take his place. But the main reason why we're saying Anthony Fantano is a silly head, silly goose, silly guy, silly in general, is because Anthony has been showing his age lately. Now, what I mean by that is, when it comes to this sort of underground rap, which really isn't underground, but that's what it's getting called as, underground or rage type of rap music, Anthony is showing his age. He very much is. So first of all, this isn't just directly about the opium guys, Carson and Destroy Lonely. Anthony Fantano hasn't ever reviewed Uno, which, whatever you think about him, Uno's still been this guy that's been doing his thing for a long time. And Anthony has never reviewed Lancey Foux, who has been doing his thing for a good amount of time too. Just recently dropped a pretty highly anticipated album, Life in Hell. Anthony has not reviewed it. And to me, that's just a direct sort of neglect to what's going on in the youth at the moment. He also poops on Lucki, isn't very favorable towards yeat, and he's the most favorable towards yeat out of all of these guys, which is strange. But he hasn't reviewed Kankan either, Summrs, Autumn, yada yada. And that's fine. Review who you want. It's your prerogative, your channel. But at the same time, you are showing your age, because when you do review these people, you don't like it at all. So that's not too good. Honing in on opium, I think this is more of a concrete example of Anthony showing his age. Now, you see, whenever he's reviewed Ken or Lone, it's only been on their first project since joining opium. He hasn't really been aware of the context of their careers and what they've done yet so far before these albums dropped, which is also fine. But at the same time, when you go to review Destroy Lonely, and you mention that he's got 3 studio albums, this being his 3rd, and you don't even mention them or say like, yeah, I like them, blah, 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 it's not looking too good, in my personal opinion. Especially with this Destroy Lonely review. Now, Ken's album, X, pretty sure it's just simply called X, isn't Ken's best work, I'll admit it. But it's still got some good music. It's still listenable, digestible for the young guns. But again, specifically this Destroy Lonely, no stylist review. The second thing that Anthony, Mr. Fantano, mentions about Lone is that he signed the carti
of this new Destroy Lonely album, No Stylist. Destroy Lonely is an Atlanta rapper who is fresh to Playboi Carti's Opium label.
And he gives all the credit to Carti as well. He mentions how Carti's like this genius for signing these 2 guys to his label so that Carti can give his fans more Carti-esque music. And if that's the case, you know what, fair enough. But I think Anthony's not allowing Lone and Ken to sort of stand on their own. So what that they're signed to opium? I mean, wasn't Carti a part of like ASAP Mob forever? And I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. I don't really see him doing that with any other artist. So I don't get why these two, it matters a whole bunch. And then, you know, as this review goes along, it's sort of like Anthony is trolling. It's really hard to sort of take him seriously, as he calls Lonely vocally indistinguishable. I'm not sure if it's an I or a U. You tell me.
Vocally, I could not pick this man out of a lineup.
But he calls him indistinguishable from many other rappers, and I just don't think that's the case. Destroy Lonely's got this nasally, in a good way, type of voice that makes him fun to listen to. It's energetic, and he does do different things with his voice. It's not monotone, like Anthony calls in Jetlggd. Jetlggd is a crazy good opener. I mean, maybe there could have been something else. I don't know, but regardless, it's not monotone. It's pretty nice. And that sort of goes into the next point that he makes, and he says that nothing goes hard.
But I don't see what is so hype or exciting or, I don't know, visceral or aggressive about this.
Well, Jetlggd does go pretty hard, and I mean, it is subjective after all, but I don't know. I don't know how you could listen to that and then call something like Jid's album hard, when I know it's more lyrically impressive, but some of the music just doesn't bop as hard, if you get what I mean. I mean, look at me. Do I bop? I don't know if I bop, but I like to think that I bop. Anyways, other songs on the album, Fake, You Know What, that goes extremely hard. It's pretty good if you ask me. Did he listen to Pressure? That song goes hard. I'm Cool, Call Me Little Tundra. Come on now. And there's other songs on the table. It's a little repetitive, but that goes hard. I mean, that'll make you want to go get some money. And so, speaking of money, Anthony calls out Lone for his materialism. And while it's a fair point to sort of nag on someone from being repetitively materialist, first of all, we have to keep in mind that Lone's only 21. So, of course, an up-and-coming guy would be motivated by materialist aims. I mean, I don't see how that's really that big of an issue. Lone also doesn't make only materialist songs on this album. Swag School, Crystal Castles, Love My Gang, those aren't necessarily materialist songs at all. I'm not sure what that is about. And furthermore, you know, Anthony is this socially and politically aware guy. So my question is for a lot of rappers, especially young rappers, and when they're coming up, materialist things are a sign that they're starting to make it, that they're starting to get out of a bad situation. It's sort of this, you know, attainable and measurable thing that they can look to see that they're becoming successful. I mean, I don't necessarily see anything wrong with it. Who knows if it's going to take them down a bad path? I understand that materialism isn't the greatest thing to strive for, but nonetheless, it's a sign of success in a really dark world where it's hard to be successful. I mean, I'm sure Anthony is aware of this. And finally, Anthony says that Lone's only worth listening to because he signed the carti. That's the only thing that's really making him listen to this. And you know what? Fair enough. I guess that's okay. But at the same time, it's just reductive. It's flat out reductive to call someone's art only worth listening to because they're associated with someone else. I don't know. I just don't see it. You're making the individual really insignificant. And I guess that's fine. But